Hello, YouTubers. My name is Xfactor. Welcome to some 64-man rush on Giants. We've got ourselves a good old-fashioned Wookiee off. I've got a handful of Xfactor's Wookiees in my platoon, and there's another platoon of Wookiees that happen to be on the other team, and we're going to have a little fun going back and forth. I'm going to show you guys some of my pushes, my rotations. I'm going to be gunning in the Amtrak, gunning in the LAV, switching out to some assault class weapons, doing some kit switching with some of the other Wookiees in my squad that we're reviving back and forth, and one crazy epic push at the end. Once you get inside of Giants, this thing can come to a screeching halt. I talk about this all the time. It's all about rotating and covering all the lanes. The last thing you want is for the enemy team to completely blow up one side. If they take what's this right side, left side to them, they can just shoot you in the back. They can get top high. They can get all this positioning back here by this oil drop. That's bad. You really, really need this back. And here you see the tap firing of the M240B going ham, and there's a nice little stack of pipes that kind of acts as a head glitch that you really have to check off, not to mention all the log piles on the right. There's a lot of stuff that kind of behooves the defender when it comes to positioning. Now, you really have to watch your back. You can kind of hear the VoIP with the other Wookiees going back and forth. Hey, there's one behind the Xfactor, turn around. Hey, they're trying to flank us, and here's that peak that I'm looking at. Get to pull off, because that optic scares me. Finish that kill, end up getting killed further down the line, and this is somewhat troublesome. It's very hard to push, but this is actually a good lane to take the Amtrak, believe it or not, or your LAV. The trick to the Amtrak and the LAV is just simply do not get too close. Then you're in range of all the recons with C4 and support players with C4. Too quick, too soon. There are not a lot of engineers simply because the Amtraks and LAVs usually go down the wrong lane and they get gibbed instantly. And there you see me dying right there. The perfect example of what not to do. Take it slow, slow push that, and just sit. If you need some health, sit back, but make sure you stay on the move, or those mortars, UCAVs, and of course the RPGs can sneak up and get you. That's also something else I'll do a little bit later in this, is these transitional periods in between fields. I actually bust out the map quite a bit. You can rack up the points, not only spotting, but zapping claymores, C4, then of course mortars. And there's a brutal cooldown if you get your mortars zapped. You don't get one for at least a minute, maybe a minute and a half. And I talk about this all the time. Give me a proficient secondary gunner when I'm in the LAV or tank. Keep your head on a swivel. If you got 10 infantry behind you, look at that. You still got to watch out for the guy sneaking up, but I had an assist there. 92, that means they're at least watching. So whenever I'm a secondary gunner, I do not try to train my sight on the same line as the primary gunner. And same thing with the LAV, do not get too close to these trains. They can get in there, they can be C4 lurking in the corner, either left or right, or they can lob it through the entryway. It really behooves you to stay back at least 10 to 15 meters. Not to mention pile driving through trees, then of course all the other lumps and bumps that you can hit. And I just got lucky enough to get down angle right there, and he's actually doing a really good job of breaking these locks. That hill on the backside really causes some issues, so sometimes you do have to pull into the trains. But the second you break that lock, you really need to get back. That's all she wrote there, as we're trying to get this last MCOM and keeping the first one hot. Simply trying to stay alive, maybe penetrate and get a look. But as you can see, they're all over the minimap and we go down. Next push, we made it. And here's an example of these intermediary pushes that you're trying to make. And there's a zap, a free 50 points. And you're going to see how quickly you rack up the spotting points with the Mavs. Go high and just keep moving. Now, a lot of people don't know this. You don't need to lock on with the Mav. You can zap other Mavs in the air. You can zap Claymore, C4, and of course the mortars, but you don't need to lock on. There is a little bit of lead required if it is a moving or air target, but if it's something like a mortar or C4, just spam spot it and simply click. You can see in the bottom right how quickly it reloads its charge. It's kind of like a miniature Star Wars, if you will. Just like that, 400 points, helping my team push up to power positions. And that's what it's about, because a lot of times you just get stuck in these fields, and it just becomes a grind, a sniper off. And here's kind of the last major push. Our team had been kind of smashing their face in on the front door, not getting anywhere, just kind of showcasing the back room here. And just keep that door closed. It makes a massive noise when it opens up. Or give it an open, let some of your teammates in. So you can close that, and you can kind of hear it in the background going off. And just, that's got your back. The second you hear that noise again, you got to worry about it. But we're hoping to open the floodgates for our teammates, because this is the push that you want to make as the impact finishes me off. The question is, did we wipe? Did one of the squad members stay alive? And the answer is, hey, you're last, stay alive, run for your life. Somebody was in position, ran out, and then got simply back in. And now we're back in force with a couple support players. I say this a ton of times. If you got help, revive. If you don't have help, and you're the only guy there, you're the only medic there, your gun's out of your hand. As you see me closing it this time around as we try to make a push, don't revive. That was a waste, because your gun's not in your hand, you're going to get shot, you're going to lose the medic right there unless there's a kit switch. And this is the push that we want to make. This team's been so far trained on that other set of doorways and entryways that we kind of got a nice little back range going on. We get it set, they defuse it, but we actually set it again. And right there, my panels kind of glitch out just a little bit and kind of disappointed. This would be a wonderful place to have C4 either as a recon Wookiee or a support player, just throwing them over these little cubicles. As always, YouTubers, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some Rush with some of the other Wookiees against another group of Wookiees. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and we will see you guys soon.
GG. GG.